a little wonky.
It's like we're in the Batcave. Do you remember that?
No.
The TV show Batman, when they were in the, it was always at an angle when they were in
Really?
the criminal's lair. It was always it was always at an angle.
Exciting.
Yeah, it's weird as hell.
Wow. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm all right. I'm all right. Let's turn some music down. Your tummy's making funny sounds. Hey, Deb, better breakfast.
I have my Rice Krispies. They sustain me.
Anyway, good morning, everyone. It's Inspired Wednesday, and I'm going to read you something in a minute that I came across yesterday that I think is really stunning. Dang, this tea is so hot. I can barely stand to hold it. You know, I like to have my hand under there to warm up. It's hot.
Well, I did just make it.
I know, and it is tea, so I shouldn't be that surprised.
Good job you're not wearing your metal cup. You're not using your metal cup.
Say the word, because my brother could be watching.
It was an alloy of aluminium.
There we go, Wesley. All right. Anyway, the first thing that I want to do today is I want to offer up, I have 4 tickets left to next week's Tuesday Women Connect Chamber of Commerce talk that I am giving, called You Failed, Just Get Up Again and Again and Again. The talk is from 3:30 to 5 next Tuesday. Is that the 24th? Whatever the Tuesday before Thanksgiving is.
Yeah, it is.
3:30 to 5 Central.
You said double check.
And I have 4 more tickets. So if anybody would like the opportunity to come and see that virtually, stream it, I guess I should say, why don't you comment on this daily dose? And then if there's more than 4 of you, we'll do a random drawing, and I will check in with you later to get your email address to get you registered. So that's that. But I want to read this beautiful thing I came across yesterday. And I put it on my extraordinary page, so you may have already seen it, but I think it bears repeating even if you have. Message from the Council of 13 Indigenous Grandmothers. As you move through these changing times, be easy on yourself and be easy on one another. You are at the beginning of something new. You are learning a new way of being. You will find that you are working less in the yang modes that you are used to. You will stop working so hard at getting from point A to point B the way you have in the past. But instead, you will spend more time experiencing yourself in the whole and your place in it. Instead of traveling to a goal out there, you will voyage deeper into yourself. Your mother's grandmother knew how to do this. Your ancestors from long ago knew how to do this. They knew the power of the feminine principle. And because you carry their DNA in your body, this wisdom and this way of being is within you. Call on it. Call it up. Invite your ancestors in. As the yang-based habits and the decaying institutions on our planet begin to crumble, look up. A breeze is stirring. Feel the sun on your wings. I love that. I think it's so beautiful.
It is.
And while it is very clearly female-centered, I don't believe that it is only for women. And when I read it yesterday, I thought so much of what you talk about is, in terms of being a person enjoying sobriety, is how are you looking internally? How are you doing that work to, be your wholest, best self?
Yeah, you do, have to look inside yourself, and it is a struggle, and that's why, you should. Some people kind of manage to achieve sobriety on their own and probably not go to many meetings, if any, and some people do. I personally like to go to them because it's a nice feeling to be in a room of people that don't judge you, where you can actually give advice and listen and be given advice. But a lot of it is to do with falling down and getting up again. I mean, there's no other way of saying it, and that's a beautiful way of explaining it.
Well, I also think that if we all took a little more time to be introspective, if we focused on ourselves in internal ways, as opposed to, taking 10,000 selfies to post the one seemingly random excellent selfie on Facebook, which is not internal development,
That's all right.
Or if we didn't spend so much time, judging others, criticizing others, wondering what's really real about others, can worry about others. We all have plenty to worry about for our own selves. Did you want to say something?
Oh, you mentioned selfies, and Buzz Aldrin and Neil Armstrong only took the ability to take 12 pictures when they went to the moon. The moon. 12.
Yeah, but they didn't have cell phones. Probably today's astronauts are taking more than 12 pictures.
Well, the computer and the LEM had less computer power than your average cell phone.
Right. So, it's a different time. We can't judge selfie takers by 1960s moon landings. Anyway, I think that there is something really amazing about so much of this idea of go deep within, this idea of being in a place of turmoil. I don't care what side of the political spectrum you fall on or where you land somewhere in the middle. It feels tumultuous right now. And that leads to all the other things that feel tumultuous. If you talk to the millennial and the Gen Z generations, they have a level of despair that is unlike anything, certainly, my generation ever experienced. Quinn routinely says things to me like, I'm not absolutely certain why I'm saving for retirement. I don't think the planet will be here. And he doesn't say it to be dramatic or ironic or alarmist. He says it because he has been confronted with the fact that all the previous generations leading up to his, including mine, have not managed it well.
Well, we prevented and didn't partake in a nuclear war. We've got to give ourselves some credit for that.
Okay. All right. I'll give us credit for that.
Bad move in the environment, even though the EPA was put together in the 70s. It got dismantled a couple of years ago, so hopefully
it'll come back.
President-elect Biden will put it back together again.
But between environmental challenges and race challenges and immigration and food shortages and COVID and economic insecurity and all of these mounting problems, it serves us to go inside to get quiet and to go inside and do some internal housekeeping and not spot cleaning, deep cleaning.
This thing you just read, I mean, people will read these and goes, oh, that's old waffle, but it isn't. It's completely true, and it's true today. We seem to have, there's a disconnect in how we think today. That passage there about
where are you trying to find?
They view the power of the feminine principle, and because you carry their DNA in your body, the wisdom of their way is being within you. If you think about that even scientifically, that's absolutely correct. You only get your mitochondria from your mother, and your mitochondria has 37 human genes that are essential to human life. 13 of them are incredibly important. 3 of those 13 actually make your hemoglobin. So scientifically, that's a very profoundly correct statement.
Your mother, your grandmother, your great-grandmother, your great-great-grandmother, all the way back to the evolution of humans from Africa is inside of us, and their wisdom and their stress and their strengths and their struggle. And that should give all of us hope, because we are in some ways living in the easiest time of humanity, and in some ways living in an incredibly challenging time. But the simple fact is that we are one of a lineage of generations of men and women and non-gendered, non-binary people who have come before and who will come after, hopefully will come after. So the work of, again, I go back to the work of looking inside and doing some deep house cleaning on what do you need to get in order?
Yeah.
What do you need to decide to stop doing? What do you need to decide to start doing? Who do you need to reach out to? How do you need to make yourself your best version? Whether it's getting over an addiction or all the other things that we pretty routinely talk about. It doesn't matter what it is. You don't need to name it externally. You need to know it internally and work on it there. And take faith and comfort in the fact that thousands of generations of women have done this work before you.
Well,
it's amazing.
It's things that we always miss. I mean, you can look up stuff and people will talk about, oh, this new practice of farming is going to save us. It's not a new practice of farming. It was actually something that that's how we farmed thousands of years ago.
Yeah. There's nothing new under the sun many ways.
There's nothing new there. I mean, I just saw something on Facebook this morning that was profound. I don't know who wrote it, but it was brilliant. It said, you don't have to have something happen to you to have something mean something to you.
Oh, yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't have to lose a child to have profound empathy for someone who has lost a child. You probably can't relate to it, but you can reach out to that person, for instance. Yeah, that's amazing. So, for Inspired Wednesday, I hope you take this with you, this idea of we are part of this long, continuous thread of humanity, and all of the bad, but all of the good comes with it. So be part of the good.
I wasn't going to say this, but now I'm going to. It is connected. If you want to keep this journey going and you want to keep learning, Dana mentioned millennials and Gen Zers don't think that there is really any point to planning long term. There is. And one of the things that you could do to plan long term is, when you're out in public or in a public space, you could wear a mask.
So that we help
Yes.
ensure the future. Yes, there's a thought.
Because you're being nice to other people.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
They've shown it doesn't help. It doesn't stop your breathing. People might panic. Yes, you can have an anxiety attack. I'm not trying to minimize that in any way. But there are things that you can do to limit that anxiety. But, being face down with a tube down your stomach, I would think will be more anxiety inducing than just wearing a mask and staying 6 feet away from people.
So to wrap this up, my mother just wrote that she and my brother are late. Please go back and watch this, Wes, because we had a special shout out just for you. If you are commenting on this, I'm going to assume it's because you are interested in possibly getting one of the 4 tickets that I have left, virtual tickets that I have left to give out for next Tuesday's Women Connect talk that I'm giving from 3:30 to 5. So I will, if I need to, if there are more than 4 of you, I'll do a random drawing and then reach out to you to let you know that you were selected. And I will repost this writing on today's Daily Dose so that you can find it. But I hope that you will take some time to really think about it, breathe it in, reflect on it, and take your place in the long line of the incredibleness that is humanity.
I know you might think I'm being slightly biased here, but if you get the chance to listen to this talk, it'll be worth it because it will be fantastic.
He's such a nice cheerleader.
It's absolutely true, though. It will be.
Well, if it all falls down, he'll still be there. So that's what really matters for me. All right. Have a great day. We'll see you tomorrow with our guest. Bye.
See you tomorrow.